I'm watching all those movie musicals. I used to dance around the street, and I'd get caught all the time. God, it was embarrassing. I was I was always trying to be Sid Trees, always, which I never really understood, because I wanted to be an actor. I always wanted to perform on stage. One day, my cousin said to me, "You'll never be an actor." I knew she was telling me this because I was such a sissy. I was terribly effeminate. I mean, yeah, I always knew I was gay, but that didn't bother me. What bothered me was that I didn't know how to be a boy. One day I looked at myself in the mirror and I told myself, "You're 14 years old and you're a faggot. What are you going to do with your life?" By that time I was attending Cardinal Hayes High School. There were 3,000 boys there. I had no protection anymore. No homeroom where I could be charming and funny with the smart guys and tough guys so they fight my battles for me later on. I don't like small schools. I mean, I liked school, but my grades got so bad. Even in class, if I knew the right answer to a question, I wouldn't raise my hand because I was so afraid they would laugh at me. They even called me sissy in the halls and whistled at me behind my back. It was awful. But finally, I went down to the principal's office and I said, "I am a homosexual." Well, it was a Catholic high school at the time, and at the age of 15 in 1962, you just didn't say stuff like that. He said to me, "Would you like to see a psychologist?" So I did. Then he said, "I think you're very well adjusted for your age. Maybe you should quit high school." So I did. But I didn't really want to. I, I just couldn't take it anymore. You see, when I quit high school, what I was trying to do was I was trying to find out what exactly it was that I was and how to be a man. There are a lot of people in this world that don't know how to be men. And since then, I found out that I am one. I was looking for the wrong thing the whole time. I was trying to learn how to be butch. Anyway, I started hanging around 72nd Street, meeting all these really weird people. Just trying to find friends that were like me. One of them told me they were looking for male dancers down at the Jewel Box Review. The drag show. So I went down to audition. Now, from all those years of pretending I was Sid Charisse, I had this fabulous extension. I mean, I could turn pretty much anything for my first audition. You know what they said to me? They said, "You're too short to be a boy. Would you like to be a pony?" And I said, "What's that?" And they said, "A girl." Well, what do I have to do? "Show us your legs." Well, they hiked up my dungarees and put on a pair of nylon stockings and some high heels. It was freaky, but it was incredible. I went back upstairs and they told me, "Oh, you have great legs." Really? Terrific. It's so weird thinking about this. I was just past 16 at the time, but it feels like a lifetime ago. Oh yeah, and then there was this thing of me trying to hide it from my parents. That was something. Because, I had to buy a lot of stuff, like makeup and high heels and nylons, and my mother would always find them. I told her this bullshit excuse of how this girl in the show didn't want her parents knowing what she was doing, so I would hold her stuff for her. She believed me. Well, I was finally in show business. I mean, it was the asshole of show business, but it was a job. Nothing to brag about. I mean, I had friends, yeah, but after a while, it got so demeaning. I mean, nobody in the Jewel Box Review had any dignity, and most of them considered themselves freaks. So, I don't know. I think it was the lack of dignity that got to me, so I left. Well, I muddled around for a while, I worked as an office boy, as a waiter, but without a good education, you can't get a good job. And I never finished junior year. So that's why when the Jewel Box Review called me, I went back. We were doing 4 shows a night with a movie. It was really tacky. But the show was going to Chicago. My parents found out that the show was going to Chicago, so they wanted to bring me my luggage after the final performance. Well, we were doing this big Oriental number, and I looked just like Anna May Wong. I mean, I had these 2 great big chrysanthemums on either side of my head with these little gold balls dangling down. And I remember we were going on for the finale, and I just happened to look past everything to the stage door, and who, of all people, should I see standing there? My parents. Well, I freaked, I didn't know what to do. But I had to go on for the finale, so I thought to myself, I'll just go in line like everybody else, and maybe they won't see me. Well, that didn't quite exactly work out how I wanted, because when I passed my mom, I swear I heard her say, "Oh my God." Well, I died, but what could I do? I had to go in for the finale, so I just kept on going. That was the worst show I've ever done. After the show, I went downstairs to get out of costume, and I took off my makeup, and I went back upstairs, and there they were, standing in the middle of all these and all they said was, "Please write, make sure you eat, and take care of yourself." As they were leaving, my father turned to the producer, and he said something that to this day I have not forgotten. He said, "Take care of my son." That that was that was the first time he ever called me that.